All right, all right, all right. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, the beautiful people? Do me a favor if you can see my screen, and also if you can hear my voice, do me a favor, type the number 1 in the chat. If you can see my screen, and also if you can hear my voice, we're gonna get this thing rocking and rolling. So I hope y'all ready for tonight. I know it's Monday, December 18th, 8:14 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You already know what it is. It's Money Mondays. Money Mondays. You know, there's a lot of movements happening in the markets right now. You know, typically in the earlier part of Monday, we're talking like London session, 3 a.m. in the morning Eastern Standard Time. That's when the week is really starting to kick off strong. There's a lot of volatility in the London session, which occurs 3 a.m. Okay, in the beginning, 3 a.m. and also the New York session, which starts at 8 a.m. And then the overlap of London and New York is basically taking place for several hours, you know, up until, you know, new times and things like that. So, you know, a lot of volatility in the market. Whenever there's volatility in the market, that's a good thing. You want movement to happen in the market because the markets is going to start hitting some reaction points. And once it hit reaction points several times, you're going to have an idea as to, okay, this is what's happening in the markets. It's bouncing here. It's dropping at this point, so on and so forth, right? So what I'm going to do to really kick this thing off is, you know, take it back one more time to the $500 to $5,000 challenge. How many of you are familiar with the $500 to $5,000 challenge? If that's you, do me a favor, type number 5 in the chat. If you're familiar with that plan, or if you heard of that plan before, $500 to $5,000 challenge, type the number 5 in the chat. And if you don't know what it is, it's all good. I'll break it down easy for you. So I make sure everyone here is on the same page. So I see Mark is on the same page. I see Press is on the same page. I see. Okay, we got 2 marks. All right, we got a couple of marks over here. So let's see some activity in the chat. Yeah, 555 in the chat. 555 in the chat. Let's get to it. Let's get right to it. All right. So bottom line. All right. Let's go into the compound calculator real quick, so you understand exactly what the $500 to $5,000 challenge is. Okay. So we're gonna go to the compound calculator right over here. Okay. And we are going to scroll down right over here, and then we're gonna type 500, okay, right over here. All right, and if we're going for 5% a session, if we're going for 5% a session, all right, every day for the next 50 sessions, all right, and we're just letting it sit there, we're letting it compound, so on and so forth. We're gonna click to calculate. All right, and basically this provides kind of a hypothetical guideline to the $500 to $5,000 challenge. Now, in the beginning, all right, if you're starting off with the principal of $500 and you make 5%, that's 25 bucks. Doesn't sound like much, right? But I will tell you this: there's not a lot of people that make $25 an hour. All right, not a lot of people that make $25 an hour. So if you look at it in terms like that, that's still pretty okay, right? But it does get better, right? So when you put it into the compounding effect, right? $25, that's 5% on the first day. The next day, now you're starting with 525. So you're not just starting with 500, starting with 525 and then getting 5% on that. All right. And then you'll start to see it compound. And before you know it, all right, you'll get up to the 270s. Now, let me put you on to something. Let me put you on to some game real quick. Right? We go in here and let's just click on the calculator real quick. All right. We see this at $274, right? $274 times 365 days in a year, right? That's 6 figures right there. That's $100,000 right there. So this is a guideline to eventually get to this point. Okay. And if you're making, you know, $100 every day for a year, that's $36,500. If you are making $200, all right, every day for a year, all right, you can do the math. That's $72,000 plus. Okay, $300, then it gets sweet, right? That's definitely over $100,000 because you get to over $100,000 at 274. So on the 51st day and beyond, you're already at a point where you can, in a very lighter way, you can actually start to make some profits, alongside what you make with your main career or your businesses, whatever it is, however it is that you earn money. All right, this is going to act as a supplemental source of income. This is portfolio income. There's three types of income, ladies and gentlemen. You have active income, you have passive income, all right, and you have portfolio income. Active income is what you're making with your business and sales, all right, and your job, okay? Now, passive income is basically you making investments, and those investments are making you money on a residual basis. Let's say you invested in real estate, all right, and you are a landlord of multiple properties and you have several tenants, okay? That difference that you take in from your mortgage to their rent, that is an income, okay? That is a passive income. That's just one fine example, right? If you're in the music business, if you're a creator, whatever the case may be, and you earn royalties, that is a residual income, okay? Now you have the third type of income, portfolio income, which is what you're making in the markets, okay? Your stock dividends, okay? This is what you're making through Forex. This is what you're making through cryptocurrency, bonds, ETFs, whatever it is that you're trading, futures, okay? There's so many different ways to trade in the market, right? But this is another type of income you could tap into. And here's what I discovered. What I discovered is most people only make an active income. Then you have some that make both active and a passive income, but very rarely you have individuals that make all three. And here's the thing: anyone could do it, and it doesn't matter what your income level is. So this plan right here, it's a very simple plan. I know there's very successful people on the line right now that's looking at this like $500 to 5,000. This guy's talking small money. Well, believe me, it leads to bigger money, and there's different plans you can tap into. So if we do a $5,000 to $50,000 game plan, guess what? It's the same thing. 5% a session for 50 sessions, right? Just letting it compound. All right, listen, it's a game of numbers, guys. It's a game of numbers. It's really not hard. Okay, in the last 4 years, I made $4 million. Okay, I made $4 million in the last 4 years, and I can tell you, my first million was the hardest because I put a bunch of mental blockages in my mind. It was so far fetched that it was just impossible, right, to even fathom. But what ended up making it a reality is when I started to surround myself with other people who were getting it done. When I started to go into these dealerships with cars that I couldn't even afford, but just to be able to sit in these cars and smell it and just acknowledge that, hey, this is real. This doesn't just exist on TV. This doesn't just exist on YouTube videos on my phone or my laptop. This is actually real, right? When you're stepping into the mansions. I remember I used to get with friends and we used to pitch our money in together to just rent out mansions, right? It was different. It was different because we are all in here, like 20 of us. All of us pitched in probably like $500 or something like that, and we were able to experience what it's like to be in a mansion for a weekend, right? It's things like that actually it really, what's that word? What's the word I'm looking for? It validates, right? It validates that, hey, this stuff is actually a reality. Your brain actually takes it in like, yo, I'm really experiencing this right now. And then you start to ask questions. Yo, how can I do what you did? So one of the mansions that we stood in, my boy Manny told me that the owner of the mansion, after having a long conversation with him, basically all he did was traded oil. So he discovered, okay, something that allowed him to trade in the markets. He got good with that one thing, and that's all he kept doing to the point where that guy owned multiple mansions. Fast forward years later, now I'm living in my own mansion in Windermere, Florida, next to Orlando. Now I have a fleet of 4 cars. Now I have a fleet of exotics. Now my friends are coming to my parties Mostly because where the location is. I have people flying in on regular parties. All right, and not everyone is about the cars and the mansions or whatever. I guess I needed that to kind of like give me a pinch, like, yo, like, you really making this happen. Now it's different. Now I'm a father of three. I'm a father of three. The same things that motivated me back then doesn't really motivate me as such right now, because I've already experienced that stuff. Right now, what motivates me now is the well-being of my children. What are they being educated on? What are their passions? How can I support them? When their eyes light up, that's my dream right there. Okay. And I know a lot of people could relate to that right now. So I've been broke. All right. I've been rich, ups and downs. Business gives you ups and downs, investments give you up and down. But guess what? What's going to get you to meet certain financial goals, right, is actually having a plan. So this plan right here, the $500 to $5,000 game plan, that's a go. If you want to skip the process and go straight to $5,000 to a $50,000 game plan, you can skip the process by putting up more money. So I discovered two things. You could either, one, put up more money, right? Or number two, if you're not working with a lot of money or whatever the case may be, you can make up for it with sweat equity. Okay, you can make up for it with just a little bit of money, but just a lot more time to perfecting the craft of trading. And I tell you, it's not really a mystery. Okay, it's not really a mystery. I'm breaking it down to you real quick. So before we continue, I just want to make sure you're still with me right now. Type 111 in the chat. You're still with me right now. I'm not trying to put anybody asleep right now, but I do want to know, all right, do I got your attention? 111 in the chat right now, okay? It's really not rocket science. At first it was to me. At first it looked like a whole other language that I would have to decode and whatever the case may be. But in all reality, it's as simple as this. If the market hits the floor, it's gonna bounce up. If the market hits the ceiling, it's gonna drop. And once you know how to identify the floors and the ceilings, aka support and resistance, you realize that this really is all about supply and demand. All right, supply and demand. All right, so look, let's go right into the charts. All right, we're gonna pull this up real quick. And I ain't showing no video because I didn't get my hair cut today. So, I ain't about to do that to myself. But anyway, so look, guys, all right, this is what we look at when we're in the markets, okay? We see candles, we see numbers on the side. We're like, okay, well, what is this? I don't know what I'm looking at. Very simple. Green candles means price went up. Red candles mean price went down. All right, when we're looking at these charts, all right, we choose the time frame of charts that we want to look at. So we're looking at the 1 minute chart. Each candle that you see here represents what price is done in a matter of 1 minute increments, okay? If I chose a 30-minute chart, this shows me what price is done in a matter of 30 minutes each. Now, when we're looking at price from the 1 hour chart and above, the confirmations are a lot more stronger. The levels are a lot more stronger. So you're going to see that once the market gets to certain levels, all right, it's going to drop right around these areas, all right? So nothing is going to be number specific, right? Because if that was the case, then everybody would be rich. But we can identify the areas where we can see activity where the market is basically bouncing up, okay, or dropping down. We'll be able to see those things right over here. Now, we could get deeper into the candle anatomy, so on and so forth, but I really want to get into trading binary options, okay? So if you want a class that's going to break down the candles and all that stuff for you, a really quick class, you can take my free class, all right? So if you go over here, mineonbillions.pro, all right, and you click on Binary FX Bootcamp or even the free trading blueprint, any of these two, all right, is going to give you some classes. Free trading blueprint, the classes are a little longer, but on Binary FX Bootcamp, there's a lot of short videos, anywhere between 5 minutes or below. All right, you're going to see a lot of these videos that I created myself. That's really breaking down all the little things.
What's going on, ladies, gentlemen, and beautiful?
Okay, and you could just kind of scroll through and get a feel as to how the basics work. Okay, I get a little bit more into advanced stuff in the free trading blueprint. But these courses are free, so just jump on and and learn all that stuff, because there is some stuff to learn there. Right now, I do want to teach you exactly what it means to trade binary options. And what you're going to do is you're going to see me look at the market, identify some opportunities, and take some buys and sells in front of your face, right? Because the best thing to do, because this is one thing that I always see. I see a lot of experts on, all these different social media platforms, all these different outlets, video outlets, so on and so forth. And they teach you everything that there is to know about trading or about charting, looking at the charts, so on and so forth. But you never actually see them live trade. I know when I was coming up as a student at first, I know I wanted my educators to actually show me live trading in front of my face, and I never got that. So what I decided to do was I decided to learn trading for myself. This was around 2015, 2016, right? I started to learn trading for myself, and whatever I learned, I taught to my group. And that started around 2016 when I started to reiterate the things that I was learning, and it just kind of caught a life of its own. But from then on, I got better with time. I got better with time. So this is a skill set you're gonna get to pick up. All right, now check this out. Okay, let me teach you what it is to trade binary options. And then again, I'm going to look into the charts. We're going to see some real live opportunities, and we're going to catch it, right? So one of the platforms that I use, so I use multiple platforms. I believe it's good to have different brokers for different things. But right now, the one that I'm solely working with right now is dotrade.com. I believe this is based in Germany. And so right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at some opportunities, and you're about to take a look at it yourself. It's not really hard. You can open a free account literally. So go to dotrade.com right now. This is what we're going to do, because I want an interactive class. I don't want people just sitting there and just watching and not doing anything. All right, it is going to be a little hands-on, and it's not really that it's not really too much hands-on. All right, stuff going on over here, but you need to do your part. So go to dotrade.com. All you have to do is click on open free account and just register with your name and email. All right, do me a favor, do that in the next 60 seconds, and when you're done, type the number 1 in the chat. Okay, I want to see who's the fast action takers. I'm gonna select one person for personal mentorship, all right, tonight, right? Because I want to see who's actually engaging, right? So go to dotrade.com, all right, dotrade.com, open free account, register with just your name and your email address. If you could do that, all right, do it, and type the number 1 in the chat. Let's give a couple of shout outs real quick. All right, let's shout out. Wow, quite a few people. Okay, I'm impressed. All right. We got Presh, we got Gideon, we got Simone, we got Maha, we got Derek, Jasmine, Ray Twan, we got an Android user, Mark, Deadshot, J Nut, Charles, Sonia, Aaron, Ben Streeter. Wow, we got quite a few of you on here. That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. Okay, so if you click on open free account and you're already registered, all right, now we're gonna get ready to get some sauce. All right, now over here, the minimum trading deposit, as you see, is $100. It's not even the most, but if you're really serious, start with the $500 challenge. Okay, go with 500. That's what I would recommend. Okay, just do it, because remember, this is money that you are able to withdraw. All right, worst come to worst, your initial deposit you get to withdraw. All right, so just transfer the money there and use that to trade. All right, so you could get some skin in the game. Okay, now check this out. Let me just give you a quick walkthrough. All right, so right over here is where you could take a look at different trading assets. All right, so there's different trading assets, and over here, this is telling you how much is paying out. Okay, so if I enter the trade, let's say I enter the trade right here. This is an OTC. I'll tell you about it in a minute, but basically, the payout is 98%. So if I decided to take a trade on this, and let's choose $100, right? All right. So if I enter the trade and I put down the risk of $100, if I lose the trade, I lose $100. If I win the trade, I make my $100 back plus the payout percentage. All right, which is almost another 100. So my total payout will be 198. Now, when I take a trade, I can take a 5 second trade, a 15 second trade, a 30 second trade, 1 minute and beyond. Okay. Now, only on OTC trading assets, all right, are you going to see super high payouts like that? All right. And with time limits of 5 to 30 seconds, which is crazy. All right. So don't get into the habit of gambling. That's the one thing that I could say that is like the biggest thing when it comes to trading. Some people trade with a gambling mindset, and that is the quickest way to lose your money. Instead, what I like to do is I like to stick to the actual trading assets that are not OTC because I can verify the data through my charting softwares. Okay. So I use my own personal charting software, all right, my binary FX charts. I also use the Monera scanner, which is something exclusive that I'm gonna teach you about really, really soon. Okay. But basically, I'm able to analyze that data using charting software. Whereas for those trading on OTC, all right, you could only analyze on what the broker shows you. Okay. That's the only thing. I like to verify data. So I like to stick with non OTC trading assets, right? Now, let me show you an example, and I'm going to do let me just do some $25 positions just so I can show you how it looks like for a buy and a sell. Right? Name of the game is to buy when the market is low, sell when the market is high. That's it, right? Over here, buy, up here, sell. All right. So let me just give you an example on how that looks. So if I wanted to enter a trade, a 1 minute trade, okay, and I enter the buy is going to activate, but the trade isn't going to finish until that 1 minute is up. Now, if I lose that buy, then I simply don't clear the trade. If I win on that buy, then I make my money back plus the raw payout of, in this example, is 78%. So this is a buy, right? If the market is anywhere above your buy by the time of expiration, you're going to win. If you're in on a sell, okay, and you're anywhere, and the market is anywhere below, okay, below your sell entry, hold on, trying to get the right prices here. If the market is anywhere below your sell entry by the time expiration, you win the trade as well. Okay, so you're gonna see how it looks like. If it's a W, you'll see a green bubble. If it's a L, you'll see a red bubble. Okay, so boom, in these sample trades, all right, you can see how that looks like. All right, I'm gonna enter another quick buy so you can see how that's like. All right. And so we're working with time expirations. Now this is really hyper, all right? So this is 1 minute, and in some cases again, 5 seconds, 15 seconds, 30 seconds. It's super hyper scalping trading, right? So you don't want to do that. But let's see what's going to occur right here. All right. And look, just a couple of simple examples. So this is why it's really, really important to analyze the market first. Okay, analyze the market first before you do anything. So I did some low trades, to show some samples. But obviously, when you are analyzing the market and you're about to take an opportunity seriously, you're gonna up the ante, based on whatever it is that you're working with. So let's say I start working with $1,500 trades. Okay, then hey, that's a good thing. Okay. Now, when you win, you'll see a green bubble and it'll show you how much you made in profit, so on and so forth. And this is basically the gist of how time-based trading works. Okay, so I've clicked around just to show you some examples. This is not an actual analysis. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to analyze the market, okay? And then we're going to take some positions. Now, my favorite types of positions to take is 5 to 15-minute positions because I get to give the market a little bit more time, okay? I get to give the market a little bit more time because if it's 1 minute or less, then the strike price, which is the price you enter that, is going to be too close to the expiration price. And when that happens, that's a problem, right? As you can see. So let's actually analyze the data, do some real analysis before we take a trade, and you're going to see a big notable difference. Okay. Now, look, check this out. First thing first, I like to check out the news for updates. So let's scroll down here. All right, where I have this pulled up on my site. All right, and we're looking at news updates to see if there's any update that's about to happen. 2200. That's at 10 p.m. All right, so that is until a little over an hour and 21 minutes. Okay, there's two updates, and it's going to affect the Japanese yen. All right. Now, the Japanese yen is one of the currencies that are volatile in this time. This is the Sydney/Tokyo session. So the most volatile currencies right now in this time, right, is Australian dollar, Japanese yen, and the New Zealand dollar. We do not trade the Chinese market, but if we did, we would be trading the China yuan along other currencies as well. Okay. Now, to verify with an OG site, you can go to forexfactory.com, which is what I've been using since 2015. All right, and you can see over here, sometimes it'll give you the time, other times it'll be like, hey, this update can happen at any given moment. Okay. Now, if I'm trading USD JPY, for example, and then an update hits, well, the market could completely take me the other way that I intended the market to go in. Or, it'll go the other way. It'll go away contrary to the direction that I predicted the market will go in. Okay. So it's important to get in and out before an update hits. Okay. So right now, I think we're in the clear for JPY because I'm looking at my other economic calendar, and it's telling me it's going to be at 2200, which is 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So right now, I think we're good. Okay, so let's look at USD JPY right now, and I'm gonna show you how I view this. So let me kind of remove this, let me remove that, and let me remove this too. Okay. So first thing first, I'm on a 1 hour chart. So let me bring this a little closer so I can have a bird's eye view as to what exactly is going on. Okay. So I always like to start with my highs and then work down to my lows. And then if I see any trends that's going to be relevant to what I'm doing right now, then I'm more than happy to do that too. Okay. Something simple like this doesn't have to be rocket science, but I have a detailed class on the binary FX bootcamp right on the site, and it's free. It's free for you to just learn. Get in and just learn. Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna zoom in. I'm gonna zoom in over here, and this is the 1 hour. So let me bring it out to the 30-minute. Let me see if we get a little closer. Okay. All right. And what you're gonna see is you're gonna see trends with the trends with the trends. You're gonna see happen again and again and again. And then you're gonna see certain levels where the market is playing ping pong on you, right? So it'll probably drop over here and it will rise over here, and it'll just keep doing the same thing until a breakout happens. All right. That's usually the case with triangular patterns, right? Now let's just go into 5 minutes and let's stretch this out so we can get a better view at it. All right, we can really get in there. Okay. All right. So it is helpful when you use indicators. Some traders don't like to use indicators. I like to use indicators. All right, because it's just an additional confirmation for me, right? So now I'm gonna unhide the indicators. Boom, starting with the Bollinger Band. Okay, and so when I'm looking at the Bollinger Band over here, I'm seeing a couple of things. Number one, I see that the candles are mostly in the bottom half of the bands. So this is definitely a lot of downward movement, right? But it looks like it's going to start to bounce up a little bit. Now, because I'm taking advantage of a short-term opportunity, right? I do notice some wicks in the candles right over here. I do notice that. We're probably going to see the top Bollinger Band come down over here, which means it may be an indication for a sell, right? All right, we could get in there just a little bit more. all right, to get in on a real quick opportunity and strike on it. Okay. All right, we can unhide some of the rest. All right, and right over here, if the market comes up a little higher, right over here to 142.550, I believe the market is drop right. The market is going to drop right around there. So I'll be looking for a sell right around this area over here. So again, once we analyze the market, we can see, okay, this is where it's most likely going to drop. This is where it's most likely going to rise. All right. And there we go. All right. You see how it's wicking right over here. So you're going to see a rise there. Okay. You're going to see a rise there. And you're going to see a drop over here. And this is for the short term because we're on a 5-minute chart. Remember, the higher the time frames, the stronger the confirmations. So to take advantage of real quick moments, real quick movements, we can take advantage of it. But longer term movements is a different story. Okay, it's a different story. So I want to wait for this to come up a little bit. Remember, supply and demand, we're going to wait for this to come up a little bit, and then we're going to strike that thing down. Now I'm looking at the levels over here. Ideally, I want to see the price up out of this box over here, out of the shaded box, all right, above the dotted line. Once I see it crossing down the dotted line, then I'm good with that. Let me change the settings up a little bit. So as you get a little bit more advanced, you can switch up some of these settings to where it makes some sense. Okay. All right. I do see some movement going on over here. Let me get a look on the 15-minute. Ooh, look, this looks sweet on the 15-minute. So right over here is probably going to come right over here before it drops. And that is what I'm waiting for. It looks really good over here on the 15-minute level. Again, the higher the time frames, the stronger the confirmation. So you want to look at the higher time frames first before you work on the lower time frames. Higher time frames is always going to be the stronger confirmations. So right now, USD JPY, I'm interested in taking a sell on USD JPY. Let's see if that is available to trade right now. USD JPY 78%. There we go. All right. Now, because I am looking at this on the 5 to 15-minute chart, I want to take a longer trade. So I'm going to go in for a 5-minute position. All right. I want to go in for a 5-minute position. All right. So I am in at 142.525 right now. And let's just see what's going to happen with the market. If it's going to keep coming up, then I could take stronger sell positions at a higher level. Remember, name of the game is to buy when the market is low, sell when the market is high. Sometimes you could buy at a level and the market goes lower, right? Which you could get a better buy price. Sometimes you enter a sell in the market and the market goes higher than that. You have an opportunity to get into a better sell. So this is what happens, right? Supply and demand, supply and demand. Are you with me so far, ladies and gentlemen? Let me know. Type 444 in the chat if you're with me so far. Let me know if you're with me so far. I believe this is being recorded. Yes, it is. I believe it is being recorded. So if you guys would like the playback, then I'll be more than happy to put it on a playlist for y'all. Wherever you like me to put it. I can put it on my YouTube. Whatever works. Whatever works for you guys. Looks good so far, ladies and gentlemen. Type dollar signs in the chat if it looks good so far. Let me know if it looks good so far. Dollar signs in the chat if it looks good so far. So we entered a sell. All right, we predicted the market was going to go down. The market is currently below the point where we entered the sell, which is a good thing. All right. Now, if we enter the buy, we want the market to be above our buy area, but we enter the sell. This is where we predicted. So if we predict correctly, all right, with the time and direction, then we could win the trade. So far, so good. Candles are red. And as long as it stays below our sell entry, we're good to go. All right. So we're going to sit here. We're going to wait. We're going to be patient. This is something that's going to require patience. Sometimes it's gonna give you a lot of anxiety. You guys know I like to play with sound effects, so it'll give you a little bit of anxiety. You know what I mean? Because time will be running out in your trade. Your heart will be pumping. Like, damn, am I gonna catch a W, or am I gonna fail at this? Everyone gets that anxiety at first. This is because we all have an emotional attachment to money. And when you're trading, in the beginning, you're going to lose more than you win. That's just the way it is. This is why it's recommended that you trade, all right, with risk management in mind. Start with low amounts. Don't go high off the bat. Start with low amounts until you have an idea of how this is all working, how this is maneuvering, right? I'd rather you lose $10, $15 rather than $500 because you decided to put your whole account on the line, right? And believe it or not, there's some people that would do it. There's some people that would just fund their account with $500 and they'll treat it like it's a casino, right? And that's not the way it works. That ain't the way it works. Okay? So look, time is the time is approaching. We got a minute and 8 seconds left. All right, the time is approaching. All right, so as long as the market is below the sell entry, we should be good to go. And this is why I like trading with non-OTC trading assets, because I can verify the data on legitimate price feeds on charting software such as TradingView and some of the other charting softwares that are out there. There's several charting softwares that are out there right now. All right, several of them, you know. And so yeah, look, Asian session. So this is the Tokyo Sydney session. See, this is Australia over here. All right, the coast of Asia over here. This is where you have the island of Japan. You have a lot of the other Asian countries. China is like at the heart of Asia. India is at the bottom of Asia. And so this is the Asian session over here. Okay, the Asian session over here. All right, so we're looking good. We're looking good based on what I see, and it looks like it cleared. All right, it looks like it cleared. So look at this. It's good to have patience, guys, because in 5 minutes, okay, in 5 minutes, you just saw me clear a trade that gave me a payout of $2,600. $2,600 in 5 minutes. Do me a favor, type 5 in the chat right now. 5 in the chat right now. 5 in the chat right now. This is a buildup. It gets to a point like this, okay? And let's bring the calculator back into the mix. Let's bring the calculator back. All right, because some people like me, I talk in numbers. You know what I'm saying? So look, check this out. If you made $3,000 a day, okay, every day for a year, what is that? Boom. That's 1 mil right there. So in the beginning, you're gonna start off with $10 wins. You're gonna start off with $25 wins in a night. You're gonna start off with $50 wins as time goes on. $100, all right, which you already know, 100 a day is 36,500 a year. 200 a day is 72,000 plus a year. 274 a day is $100,000 a year. $2,740 every day for a year, that's 1 mil. So you're gonna have to work on the buildup. You're gonna have to work on the buildup. Trust me, it's all there. Okay? Business is up and down, investments is up and down. But as long as you got the skill and all the money is taken from you, that skill is going to help you get it all back. It kind of goes with the saying, right? Would you rather have $1 million or $1 million mindset? Now, most people will say, give me the $1 million. I'll give it to someone who's better than me in investing. I'll tell you right now, when I made the money that I made, I did the same exact thing. I gave money to people who I thought were more, they were more professional in certain things, they were more skillful in certain things, they were experts in my eyes, they were mentors of mine. They don't fuck my money up, man. Type dollar signs in the chat if you feel that. They messed my money up, guys. They messed my money up. So listen, certain things sound good in theory, but in real life practice, it's different because when people are using money that they know doesn't belong to them, they have zero emotional attachment to it. They don't care about what they do with other people's money with OPM. They don't care. So if you understand and learn the skill set of putting your money to work for you, you could essentially be your own bank for the rest of your life. For the rest of your life, ladies and gentlemen. Could someone be so kind and type do trade in a chat.com? Do trade, did I just say .com? Do trade.com in the chat right now. All right, because I want people to see like, yo, this is clean, and you want to go with a broker that's new because for the brokers that are out there, pocket option, race option, binary cent, IQ cent, IQ option, um, uh, I mean, there's so many of them out there. You know what I'm saying? It's already corrupted. It's already corrupted. The best time to get in a binary broker is in the beginning. And so once I got put on game, yo, this started in Germany. This is based in Germany. This is real clean. It's not a part of Fin Ministry, although it has elements of brokers that you liked in the past. It's not tied to that infrastructure. The design is similar, but it's not tied into that infrastructure. I said, "What? Are you serious?" I've been looking for something like this. Okay, bet. I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna try it out. Vitaforex as well. Get out of Vitaforex. Get out of Vitaforex. I mean, if you're using it, if this is something you build up, cool. Keep it. But definitely get yourself a Do Trade account. I think everyone needs to get a Do Trade account ASAP. ASAP, 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 ASAP. Minimum is 100, but again, start with 500. And for the more serious folks that actually for the more serious folks that got money laying around and you're like, okay, this sitting in the bank, I'm losing value on my money, especially when inflation going up, losing about 15%, 11% of my money every single year because I'm not putting the work for me. Or, basically it's just sitting dormant, right? Why let it sit dormant when you could invest it to do something enormous? It just makes sense. If it makes sense, it makes dollars. All right, I stole that line. I stole that line from Jay-Z first album, Reasonable Doubt. If you haven't heard it, hear it. The man literally leaves a blueprint on his money plays for a long time. Trust me. There's some people that's like, they listen to Jay and they listen only for the fun music, only for the music that make you dance, or whatever the case may be, music that make you think. But look, the man's literally been leaving the blueprint from the very beginning. Crazy. I think it hits me different because my mom lives in the building that Jay-Z partially owns. So it's different, It's different. It's different. But anyway, ladies and gents, so you can see how, all right, in a short term, we can take advantage of these opportunities. In the long term, though, you see how this looks. Look how crazy that wick looks right there. All right. And in the long term, this would have been the ultimate buy to get long term, though. That trade would have cleared in a few hours from now. That trade would have cleared in like 3 to 5 hours from now. But the idea is to get in the market, treat it like a money heist, get in and get out within minutes, and that's it. Be done. Money in minutes, literally, be done. That's it. Get out. Get out. That's it. Very simple. Close the laptop. Don't try to gamble it. Just don't do it. All right. Let me know if you learned anything so far. Type dollar signs in the chat. And if you want me to post this up, if you want me to post up this replay, because you feel like maybe if you rewatch, review, relearn, maybe you pick up some things you didn't pick up before, let me know. Type dollar signs in the chat, y'all. Do trade, do trade, do trade, do trade.com. Everybody just type dotrade.com in the chat because there's somebody there. There's somebody watching that needs to see it. There's somebody watching that needs to just jump on it. Everybody need to get on it. Seriously, seriously, just jump on, register for free. When you're ready to fund that account, the minimum is 100, which is really good, especially for the United States clientele. But you do want to start with a more serious number. Start with 500, so you can take part of that $500 to $5,000 challenge. Listen, I have a feeling, all right? There's been a lot of things that happened to me in business and investing or whatever after I made a lot of money, so on and so forth. A lot of things I got exposed to that I didn't expect to be exposed to, a lot of challenges that came up out of the woodworks because I'm at a different level. What I will say is this: despite all the setbacks that happened to me, despite all the things that happened to me, I have a strong feeling, ladies and gentlemen. I got a strong feeling, ladies and gentlemen, that 2024, we're gonna have a lot of people discovering a pot of gold. We're gonna have a bunch of leprechauns running around here with gold coins in the bag. That's it, running around crazy. Let me tell you, this is awesome. This is different, yes, but this may make all the difference. I didn't expect to be a trader. I didn't expect to be a trader. I worked in the TV and film industry as a staff worker on set in New York. That's what I was doing. It wasn't until a slow season where a friend came to me and said, "Hey, do you want to learn how to put your money to work for you in the stock market?" I said, "I'll try it." I tried stock options. I liked it. It was cool and all that. I felt like the websites were like kind of prehistoric. It was like dinosaur websites. Old folks, will be more user friendly with that. For me, it was too slow for me. I couldn't. I felt like I was losing IQ points. But times changed. I got introduced to Forex right after, and then everything just went crazier. Forex and crypto, and now I do it all. I trade stocks, I trade stock options. I do it all now. Binary options. If you become skillful at binary options, your entry level precisions is going to make you a beast at trading everything: stocks, stock options, futures, ETFs, cryptocurrency, you name it, indices, okay, bonds. Even if you're investing in restaurants and businesses, I have 2 restaurants that I invested in New York. It's been 2 years. Nobody told me in traditional business it's going to take a long time before you see income. But listen, those are assets. You got to build assets over liabilities. Some assets are going to be liquid. Some assets are going to be hard assets. I invested in a few hard assets. Farms in the West Coast, among other things, okay? Rack up on assets, yo. This is serious. Okay? This is serious. Digital money, right? Digital money, along with brick and mortar businesses, man, that's just going to increase the hell out of your portfolio. Remember, 3 types of income: active, passive, portfolio. Build up the passive in the portfolio as well. This is portfolio income. Trading is portfolio income. But of course, you're going to need the active income to feed the investments to make your passive and your portfolio income. It's the active income that's going to feed those. But the passive and the portfolio income, long term, is what's going to take care of you. Oh man, come on now. Is somebody hearing me? Dollar signs in the chat, and then we're out of here. Dollar signs in the chat, then we're out of here. DoTrade.com, HTTPS. Make sure you put that in there. HTTPS. All right. / DoTrade.com. But yeah, we're done here. I hope everyone had a great experience. I know there's some people that was watching this like, damn, he really made a $2,000 payout in the matter of 5 minutes. I had him singing like, I had them singing sheesh with the ultimate harmonic notes. But anyway, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, stay blessed, take care, and I'll see you on the next session. Peace out.